Welcome to Mystic Musings with Toby Hewitt. I'm Toby Hewitt, and I'm your guide through time and space and all points in between. Mystic Musings will give you insight into who you are, why you are here, how to live an authentic life, and where you fit into the universe around you. Join me on this path of mystical exploration. Welcome to episode 30 of Mystic Musings with Toby Hewitt. This week, we will look at the eyes and ears of the heart as we continue our mystic journey. In his book, The Little Prince, Antoine de Saint-Exupéry shares that it is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Somewhere along the way, I became aware that the best description of what I do as a mystic is to see and hear with the eyes and ears of the heart. It is a discernible sensation that in the area of my heart I am sensing sights and sounds. While I understand the correspondences between the physical and etheric senses, I would have imagined that these lined up logically, so that the eyes of both were located in the area of my physical eyes, and the ears are located in the area of my physical ears. As I write these words, or as these words are dictated through me by those on the other plane, I am aware that this has never really been true. All of the perceptions I receive seem to resonate in the area of my heart and my solar plexus. There seems to be a certain logic in this, in that when I allow healing to flow through me, it often feels as though it enters through the top of my head, flows through my heart and solar plexus areas, and out through my hands. When I heal, sometimes it seems that the energy, often in the form of a green glitter, emanates from this same area toward the person needing healing. I am given the image now of a sponge which absorbs liquids and then, when squeezed, releases these. So in other words, I am very aware that there is a correlation between my heart and the ability to perceive sensory-like input entering from other parts of this and other planes. The heart chakra is that of love and kindness, and the solar plexus chakra is that of the self-center that supports confidence in moving through life. So when I am listening and hearing with the heart, this is supported by the knowledge that I am confident in the messages I am receiving. But what does it mean to hear and see with the heart? When I hear or see with my physical ears and eyes, there's often a distortion in what I'm perceiving, either because of a certain loss of accuracy in absorbing stimuli due to discrepancies in the mechanisms that allow these perceptions. That is, I am nearsighted and have a slight hearing loss from an illness when I was much younger, or because there is a measure of interference in the transmission of the stimuli from the source, distortions based on clarity, or because of interference between the source and my receptors, like a loud noise mitigating my ability to hear a message being spoken to me by someone across the room. The communication and its purpose lack a certain clarity, which means my understanding of the message is lessened. When I listen or see with my heart, the clarity is far greater, even though sometimes the stimuli are coming from another plane. When I use my heart to perceive input, the information is not being filtered through my consciousness, but rather absorbed directly through my intuition. The information is not centered through my ego mind, but rather perceived in purest form by my intuitive mind. I hear sounds and see pictures as transmitted in their original form, without distortion. There is indeed a clarity that is beyond what a physical sense would perceive. And where are these stimuli coming from? Well, when I give a reading, they are coming from the other side of the veil, from loved ones who have passed on. They speak and let me know what they look like and show me items or situations my client can receive as verification of the survival of that which is commonly referred to as death. My client's loved ones are not dead. They have merely transitioned to the other side. I also receive visual and oral messages from guides, teachers, and sometimes masters, as I am receiving now as I write. When I pause for a moment and focus my awareness in my heart area, I can perceive the ideas they are asking me to type. It is like taking dictation, but there is always a momentary pause for clarification if I am not sure of exactly the words I need to capture, because the idea is often presented in whole form and needs to be disseminated into individual words for typing, as is the case in this sentence I am typing now. I am always grateful for their input because it makes my job a lot easier, because it feels like a group effort, which it is. When I hear and see with the heart, it can best be described as clairvoyant or clairaudient, because I'm not using my physical senses at all. The stimuli are received in my etheric body, analyzed through my intuition, and passed on to my conscious mind so that I can type them, use my physical voice to transmit them, or simply use the input for my own awareness. Beyond all of this, though, is another level of hearing and seeing with the heart, and this is the basis for empathy. When we can perceive with the heart, we are listening to or seeing the state of being of another spirit's experience in the physical body, and can respond to that experience either with shared joy or solace. In other words, it is by hearing and seeing with the ears and eyes of the heart that we can perceive another person's state of being and can allow ourselves to experience the empathetic impulse. We are drawn closer by the communication, coming as it is from spirit to spirit. We can be in the same room as the other person or people, or across vast stretches of space and even time. When we perceive in this manner, we can respond with the heart and send healing to those who need it. Right now, one of the problems we see occurring is that people in power have lost their empathy, have ceased to perceive with the ears and eyes of the heart, have indeed closed down their hearts so they could follow a path of unreasoning avarice and ego-driven lust for power. We have the ability to open our hearts and send these people healing and love, that their hearts may once again be open to those of others, many of whom they are hurting by their isolation. It is time to call for a reawakening of empathy and compassion. The exercise for this week is to sit quietly and enter into a state of awareness of the sensations being perceived in the area of your heart and solar plexus. Know with confidence that you are receiving information through your etheric senses, and know that this is an awakening of empathy. And then, when you have that awareness glowing within, send the idea of healing and peace out into your community, into the nation, and into the world. If not now, when? If not us, who? Next week, please join me for episode 31, when we will examine the concept of Ubuntu as we continue our mystic journey. Thanks for listening to this episode of Mystic Musings. Please join me every week to continue our exploration of all things mystical that can help you have a more practical and magical life. Please visit my website, TobieHewitt.com, for more information and to read my blog postings. And join me also at pathwaystomindfulness.org to learn how you can schedule a presentation. I am available for mindfulness training, demonstrations of psychic abilities, and individual readings. I also have a number of books on mystical topics on Amazon.com. I look forward to hearing from you and answering your questions. Please contact me through TobieHewitt.com.